Hello and welcome back to the Lemonade Blunt Lemons podcast episode 5. Today we are talking about how pointless gaming conventions are and how potentially certain games might not live up to the hashtag hype. Yes, Interesting topic, great things are happening. Stick around if you want to hear more.
You stated your opinion pretty fast.
I was going to say, I thought the premise was a question.
Okay, I should reword it. Hello and welcome back to the Blunt Lemons Lemonade podcast episode 5. Today we're talking about gaming conventions and if they're possibly needed or not needed. Stick around. There you go.
Hey, God, like the Micro Machine guy.
I'm assuming I'm keeping both of them in there.
Oh, yeah, I would assume so. I don't know.
We could confuse the shit out of people by starting at 100 miles per hour.
I mean,
we could,
you know, just inject caffeine straight into their veins and let's go.
Well, that's at the editor's discretion.
It is. So yeah, that's what we're talking about today. Whichever one. So what do you guys think? I guess we start with E3. It's the big daddy, the big cream cake of.
I assumed E3 was the main topic because I know obviously we said gaming conferences in general. It's like E3's kind of like you said the main one. It's like, does it have a point anymore?
It'll be centered around
with
E3, but general.
I mean, I don't really know of any others. I know there's like one called Gamescom. I don't know much of any others apart from E3, to be honest.
Gamescom's the big European one. That's in Germany. That's out of all the game conferences. Gamescom's like the biggest. It attracts like lots of people.
Right.
Okay. I guess it would be more because E3 is more for showing off your goodies, what you've got locked away under your long johns. But isn't Gamescom more for the peeps to play games?
Yeah, that's what I was going to start on, because like stuff like Gamescom and PAX, those are way more fan conventions. That's for people to meet each other, play games. Sometimes they'll bring new demos, sometimes there'll be announcements. But more it's about people, like the gaming community getting together and meeting each other. I think they still have a place. Maybe not in the current climate of pandemics, but you know.
Well, yeah.
In the future, maybe, they have a place. But E3, as like a big billboard for the game industry, just doesn't need to exist anymore.
No. I would agree. I definitely agree. The conventions like Gamescom and PAX, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice to have.
So why do you think E3 is pointless?
Well, it's not needed. It's a one-time event that people like the big players there who are like Microsoft, Sony, you know, are iffy now, but and you know you've got like Bethesda there. It's a yearly format that forces people to do things in a yearly sort of way, especially Bethesda. It doesn't work for them at all. They've fucked up like since they've gone to E3.
I was going to say, remember their first one and we were all like, holy shit! And then afterwards it's just gone so swiftly downhill.
Yeah, they didn't have to do another one. No one was asking for them to do it every year. Like, you can come every 5 years and drop the mic.
I wasn't expecting them to. I was expecting them to literally just like come every few years.
Yeah,
but no,
because that's what they've
been everywhere.
That's what they suit. They suit that. They're not a company or a publisher that can be pumping out things every year. It's just, the quality dips so much, and you see that because everything since the first year it's been, you know.
You see, for me,
it just works. Sorry.
Yes,
Todd Howard.
I think you mean hot towered.
Hot towered. Yes, I do mean hot towered from now on down. And that's what I'm made for the rest of time. Go on, Chris.
Sorry, Chris, you were about to say something.
Well, you see, E3 for me is a bit of a relic of the industry from the past. Like, it existed in for me, E3 and like when magazines were big. That's when E3 was at its best. Like, the month after, there's a big spread. All the journalists got to go to this one big event, and now they have all the news. But now, E3 is nothing that can't be done online. We live in a news cycle that's 24/7. We get trailers and news articles and gaming news all the time. The like big week of events and reveals has just kind of lost its teeth in like recent years, and E3 itself has even realised that, and they're trying to like pivot more to a PAX-like thing, except it kind of sucks. Compared to like a PAX.
Then they keep fucking up with things like data leaks of the attendees and stuff. It's just like,
So, would you prefer it like just game companies just released trailers and announced things whenever they want to, basically?
I like having the once a year formats in terms of not once a year as in like everyone attending once a year, because like we said, Bethesda, please stop doing that. But I do like having like that week to look forward to, being like, right, all the big game announcements this week. Hopefully,
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing I
not that
like about
E3 itself has to do it, because as the years have gone on, because Sony last year skipped E3, did their own thing. Nintendo, they've done their own thing since 2011 with Nintendo Direct.
It's those ones that prove to me that E3 is a bit of a relic, though. Like, Nintendo Direct is such like a success because Nintendo can get the information directly to consumers whenever they want. And each time, and every time they do it, they get front page spreads on IGN, on Games Radar, and all of them. And it's not because it's E3, it's because Nintendo has told us something. E3 itself doesn't need to exist. They can do whatever they want whenever they want now. It's the internet, baby. Let's go.
No, I agree with the E3 thing. I mean, hell, the title alone of the thing is a clue as to how outdated it is. It's called the E3 press conference. It's the idea that all the journalists and stuff go there, get the hot news, and distribute it to everyone. But it's like the last 5, maybe even 7 years. They've streamed it every year, so we all just sit at home and watch it. It's like, well, good luck, journalists. We don't really need you.
Yeah, that's true.
We could just re-watch it. We don't have to watch it live.
I do like having a week though, where it's kind of games.
That's what I'm saying.
Games. I like that, but
it doesn't have to be E3. No. But I do like having that week to look forward to.
But
it's fun. Sorry.
If it wasn't E3, like, what would it be?
Just the individual press conferences, they kind of do already.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see what they do this year now that E3 is gone and all the games conferences are gone, because that week is still going to be full of, well, not press conferences, but a lot of Nintendo Directs and Sony Directs and Microsoft.
A lot of live streaming is going to happen that week, I hope.
I also imagine it's a lot of pressure for like the people there who are presenting.
Not only that, it's very expensive for them.
Yeah, like they must be jumping over joy for the thought of this not happening. You'd imagine, because I mean, as soon as one ends, you've got to plan for the next one, like straight away. Go on. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, you said they must be jumping for joy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sure Bethesda are jumping for joy. They're not going to make a fucking fool of themselves again.
Oh yeah, I don't know why.
And then you have a company like Ubisoft that does the dance party at the beginning of each conference as well. It's like, well, that's a lot of money saved.
They'll be sad. I bet they love those. Who's the CEO of Ubisoft again? Is it like
Yves Guillemot?
Oh, that's his name.
I bet he loves them. I bet he does.
I mean, it's not been the same since they stopped. I can't remember her name, but they stopped representing
Tyler?
Tyler, yeah. Aisha.
I can't remember, but I just remember the few years that she was on, we were all like, oh yeah, it's her. And then she went off and they were like, oi, where is she? Who's this?
I do. There is a certain like mystery science theatre to E3 where you can just sit and like.
But no, I won't miss that. Actually, no. To be fair, they might still do it. They might just stream it instead.
Yeah, without an audience. Obviously,
that would be awkward.
It would be a bit weird.
It's awkward enough most of the time.
But sometimes E3 is like when they have a good when Sony revealed like God of War, like that was really good, that reveal. But
no, I mean, that's good reveals.
That Sony conference in general was like a good conference. Like they had the orchestra on the front, and they had barely any presenters, and it was mostly trailers.
Yeah. On the other hand,
I like talking about E3, and I like participating in E3. I just don't think it makes much business sense, or even like consumer sense, for it to be like this like big week in LA sort of thing anymore.
Yeah, I suppose we're trying to like talk about the relevance of it rather than our own enjoyment of it. Maybe
it's a bit of both, really. Like, I was gonna say I completely agree with what you said, Chris. Business-wise, I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense to me, and I think it's proper cheesy sometimes and very cringy.
It is.
In a lot of ways, but I love it. I'll sit down and watch like the Ubisoft press conference or EA just to see, like most of the time, just to like rip on them because it's enjoyable to chat shit about all these like absolute wankers in the industry, and then a lot of times and then you get the gems in between. It's like, oh yeah, shit, that's cool. It's good to get excited about games and like stuff coming out. But it's not really relevant, but I personally quite enjoy them. Or some of them. I'm not staying up. It's annoying that they're all on really early. Now that I work, I just can't catch half of them.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens at E3 after this year. Because like all the companies are going to either realise it's way better to do it themselves in like on like a sound stage. It's cheaper, they can get the message direct to consumers, or they're going to really miss like the E3 hype. And E3 hype is real, it brings like a lot of eyeballs to the scenario. It'll be interesting to see what happens next year. See if E3 even exists anymore.
It all depends how they handle it, really. It's difficult, isn't it? Because there's a lot of traction with E3. I reckon it just depends how much traffic they get, depending how they're going to handle. Because when was E3 supposed to be this year?
It's usually June.
So I guess we'll find out what they do. You'd think they would enjoy it, but E3 does generate that sort of excitement from the community as a whole, and it gets people together to talk about it. And then there's always tons of people engaging and going, "Oh, look at this dick," and then, "Oh, this looks really good."
You're breathtaking.
Yeah, the greatest moment of any E3 ever. So, yeah, but other conventions definitely have a place. I think E3 is very unique in that sense. I think.
Yeah, I like I said, I'd say E3 itself doesn't necessarily need to exist, but obviously the individual games conferences like Sony's, Nintendo's, eventually when they start doing the Microsofts and etc. Like those I will look forward to, and I kind of hope that through some sort of sense of tradition they'll keep it to a similar time frame, because I mean hell, growing up my parents had gotten used to, after a few years after coming back to England, they got used to me being like, right, okay, it's this week I'll be going upstairs for dinner to watch E3, and they're like, yep, okay.
Really? My mum wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, same.
Oh.
I don't have a clue.
The first year I explained it to them, I was like, okay, there's a big conference going on, they're announcing a shit ton of stuff, and it's only on once a year, so I want to go watch this, because our family has a tradition of having to sit at the dinner table to eat dinner, so I was like, nope, not this week, and they're like, after the first year, they're like, okay, that's weird. Second year, they're like, fine, and then afterwards, it was just like, yep, nope, this is normal.
It's a lost cause, yeah.
I'm sure we've all, sat together and watched E3 conferences at the same time.
We have. I can't remember when. We have for the lemons.
Well, the last couple of years we've all got into a Discord or a Skype, whatever it was at the time, and talked about.
Oh, really?
About E3 and whatnot.
Did it on Xbox back in the day.
Yeah. I remember doing it.
I remember Halo 4's. It was very hot that day, and my room was boiling. But I was I want to watch the conference by myself, and I'll go to the Xbox Live party afterwards to discuss what I thought about Halo 4.
Yeah, it was warm, wasn't it? I remember being very sticky when I watched the Halo 4 thing.
That was a hot summer.
Yes, it was.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, so it is a lot of fun. But I would feel so much pressure if I was someone in charge or part of the process to try and churn something out every year, because it's just not how games are made. And a lot of times you get teasers. There's been plenty of years where I remember that year where there was all the Star Wars thing with EA, and they're like, we have 10 Star Wars games. They are coming at some point. And that was
Goodbye.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
On the pressure and the expense of having something to show at E3 also kind of reflects a games industry of old as well. Because E3 is not for indies. Not at all. They cannot. It's too expensive for them. They can't get out to LA. So it's this is a conference for the AAA. And that's not really what the games industry is anymore. I mean, it is. There's the AAA. But more increasingly, indie has taken a larger chunk of the pie. Whereas E3 just doesn't feel as representative as it used to back in the day.
That's because it's due to the number of controversies the AAA industry has gone through as well, both E3 related and outside of that. Because naturally, like you mentioned, the indie game scene has taken off quite a lot in the last few years due to development tools being easier to access, but also the fact that the AAA game industry just keeps churning out shite, and everyone's like, well, indie games are kind of good now, so we're gonna go there. Bye. Yeah. And then also there's the classic oh hey, they showed off Watch Dogs, then you got Watch Dogs and went, that's not what was E3. So many factors that have just turned people off the fucking AAA game industry, which does not help E3's case at all.
No, I agree. I think the AAA industry's always kind of been like that as well, and it's always shot itself in the foot in one way or another. But I think now there's a lot more bigger personalities out there that are calling them out on their shit a lot and constantly. Like Jim Sterling, obviously, doesn't let anything go, and for good reason.
No.
Yeah, he's a cheery chappy, but for absolutely good reason. And on the whole, the AAA industry is pretty dire, and it's nice to see them kind of. That's what I always enjoy when an EA or someone, they'll have a terrible presenter or something. I remember they had the YouTube presenters and there was one dude who just froze.
Oh god,
and
I remember
quite
this.
hilarious. And I just enjoy watching those like corporate folks just like balls it up.
EA's conference is usually terrible. Like it's usually
Usually
like here's all our sports games again.
Yeah.
It's the same game again.
The
And
grass is
Here's
10 times
Pele.
shorter. And
Pele's
it's
going to
like,
talk about FIFA. He doesn't know what it is,
You
but
guys
he's going
all
to talk
them
about it.
confused now.
You guys love Madden? Madden, right? No.
No,
just-
not even Madden fans like Madden anymore.
Apparently they're
It's a
actually terrible, those games. From what I've heard anyway.
Yeah, I've heard they're like probably even worse than the FIFA games. I love FIFA. It's like
I was going to say, aren't they all just kind of like trash now?
yeah, but obviously I guess like the crowds that tend to buy FIFA and stuff, it's younger people who like football over games. So it's like they've got to win. There.
That's kind of where EA runs into trouble bringing it to E3. That's a games over football sort of conference, you know. Like we're here to see the games, but you're bringing the football. We're not the people to be to
100%.
care about that. That's more for the investors, which E3 is also kind of for at the same time. But
I was gonna say that's like 100% for investors.
My Discord fucked up for like the last minute. What are you guys talking about? I heard football. My brain immediately went EA with their shitty.
Yes.
Okay,
It's pretty much exactly it. Yeah.
the most dire of usually, if well until Bethesda came out to see the most dire part of an E3 conference, EA Sports.
It's just
They
terrible.
get footballers on who know nothing about games. Clearly,
I always find the EA one's probably the worst, just because of all the boring
Yeah,
games.
Yeah.
EA is just boring, and that's the problem. They don't have anything fun. Like when they bring out Pele for like a 10-minute interview in the middle, it's not funny. It's just sad and boring.
It's just awkward. I remember, did they bring out? Oh no, that was the video game award. They brought out that swimmer. What's he called? The American swimmer.
Not Michael Fassbender.
He's definitely not
that's
a
definitely
swimmer.
not him.
Is it Michael Phelps?
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was just like stood there reading off the auto cue so blatantly, but talking about how esports takes incredible grit and determination. I was like, this guy doesn't believe the fucking thing he's saying. He's like one of the most successful athletes in this field, and he's talking about the grit and determination and the hard work put into esports. I was like, he didn't give a shit. He's just
terrible.
literally
What's-
taking his money and leaving.
Why him? It's not like there's any swimming games.
Why not bring
Why
like
not
an
find an
esports
athlete
guy?
who
I don't
actually-
get it.
Well,
It
yeah.
just comes across as so disingenuous.
Yeah.
And they keep doing it. It's like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Feels like some weird pandering thing.
So also, why do they even have the EA Sports segment? Because I don't get it. Like, yes, I know people are kind of idiots and actually buy it every year for some fucking reason, but what are they expecting to see? It's like, we're bringing out a new FIFA. Okay, what are you doing new in it? Nothing. It's a roster update.
Well, it comes down to the weird muddled message that is an EA conference. Is like it's for us, the consumer, but it's also kind of for their investors at the same time. They're like, oh look, you're going to FIFA, you're going to get your money this year, sort of deal. So it's not really for us, but also at the same time, it's in a conference we're watching, so we're bored to tears by it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it makes too much money for them to ignore. Like, they're never going to ignore it because I mean, they make so much money of their revenue from microtransactions and stuff. And a lot of that is their sports games. It's just, they can't ignore it, but at the same time, they can't say anything exciting about it. So it's just
Not exciting to us anyway. Like we're not the people. We're not the people
course.
to get excited about that sort of thing.
No, yeah, and that's why I always find it the most switch offable. Other than maybe the PC gaming conference, but I don't know how that's changed over the years.
The PC gaming conference, it's just like a weird like talk show. They bring developers on for like a leisurely chat. It's like 2.5 hours long. I fall asleep at some point in it.
I think the thing is they used to have like the odd good game that gets announced there. I think one of the years a while back when I was mildly interested still, they had a Total War reveal there or something, or big gameplay. But I never knew because it was a PC gaming show and it was just so
buried.
cringy. Yeah, and I remember one year they did like this really terrible presenter.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go on.
I was going to say, didn't they have XCOM War of the Chosen there for like its reveal or something like that?
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure they had that at the PC Gamer conference, but nobody really knew because
Nobody watched
Because
it.
it was a PC
Nobody
gaming
watched
conference.
There was a dude with like a terrible suit or something.
I think I remember
Chris
the
getting
person you're on about.
Chris, Chris. I remember you got really angry or something.
Yeah.
Or one of us got really. We were just really like offended by this guy's choice of
We
attire.
were ripping into it. I don't remember who.
Oh, I don't remember this because I'm fairly sure it's the same presenter every year. for the PC Gaming Conference.
Right, for science, I'm going to try and look this up. You guys carry on.
Somebody in the comments, type it. Tell us, please.
I'll find out. Don't you worry.
Okay.
I'll go through each year.
I just spend a good portion of my E3 every year ripping into people of all walks of life, not just him.
It's kind of fun for that though, in a terrible way. I do like looking forward to watching E3 just for like all the weird stuff. Like when Ubisoft gets out like some dancers or something, like what is happening now?
Hands down the best bit. Oh yeah, it's so.
Ubisoft conferences have such a weird energy to them that I love them. They're almost my favourite conference every time, not because anything good is announced in them. Often nothing good's announced in them, but they've got a weird energy to them.
Yes.
I always love it when they try and get their audience excited or get them involved in something, and it never works. It's always so very cringy, and it's brilliant. I love it.
It is good for that.
So I enjoy it personally. Like I enjoy the conferences personally, as I was saying. They don't make much sense to me, and they're not that relevant anymore. But I enjoy the shit out of them.
Yeah. So I could say the same. Like I do enjoy them a lot, but maybe their relevance is not that great.
Yeah, I'll be sad to see them go because they're good. Sort of, you can put them on in the background and just kind of watch it, and you're either gonna get the worst thing you're gonna get is a bit boring.
Yeah.
You're usually gonna get it's a hilarious or. You get a tidbit of like, oh, that actually looks quite cool. Or you get a discussion topic.
Or you
Sometimes
get
like Keanu Reeves and a dog. Sometimes you get Xbox literally lowering like a $1 million worth Lamborghini from the ceiling for it to sit on stage for about 10 seconds and then it's gone. They just lower it down. They'll bring it back up again. It's gone. We don't need that anymore. It's gone. It's in the past. Don't think about it.
They bring out like a Forza game and it's like, here's a car. Look at the car. It's gone now. Forget the car.
This is Gears of War time.
I remember last time, like, we were on stage, and then, like, it could only have been for us, because the people in the audience wouldn't have any... I guess it was on screens for them as well, but, like, the camera zoomed underneath the stage, and underneath the stage there were Xbox Ones set up, and everyone was playing Gears of War. And it's like, yeah. And then they never went back to it. I guess that was for, like, the after show or something, but, like, there were people underneath that stage playing Xbox.
I am always intrigued. During these things where they get, like, this person's actually playing it, I'm like... Are you playing it? Are you really? I think for the God of War one, I think they did actually play it.
I remember on the Uncharted 4 demo, they were actually playing it because the game crashed. They opened it up, and like the audio was going, and like, but the game was just wasn't working. Nothing was happening. I was like, okay, guys, we're gonna restart this.
That's brilliant.
But yeah, see, I'd be sad to see them go too, but I don't know.
I mean, I feel like they can be replaced with something a bit more relevant, like a Nintendo Direct. Nintendo replaced their like stage presence with Nintendo Directs, and they get what they want across in like half an hour worth of online video. Gets to way more people, and people are just as hyped about it.
I was going to say, what is the format for Direct? Is it in front of it, like an audience or anything, or is it just?
No, you get presenters out. They talk. Usually, it's like the heads of the company. Sometimes they have really weird energy as well. Like there was one year where like Miyamoto, the heads of Nintendo came out, and then halfway through they just got replaced with Muppets, and then one of the Muppets stared at a banana for ages, and I was like, what's happening? I was like, what's happening here?
That's amazing.
That's exactly why I love E3 for that sort of thing.
What like goes on the rest of it though? There's like the conferences that happen. What else happens? That we don't.
At E3?
Yeah, like, is there stuff to do?
There are private showings and stuff, because sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, there's a show floor like any other floor, it's just mostly for journalists.
Right.
Well, it used to be mostly for journalists, but nowadays they let people in as well.
Right. So, like, could you go there and play a game? Or is that more
if you want to wait in a queue for like 3 hours, yes, you can play a game at E3. Unless if you're a journalist, you can get appointments to go to each one because they want to get it on IGN, they want to get on Games Radar, etc., etc. But if you're just a person going to E3, you've got hours of wait time in queues to play anything.
Right.
It probably is not the people's conference, really, is it?
No, not really. Hence why it's a press conference. But also part of them trying to keep themselves relevant is that some companies at least would still do like private showings that were open to the press only, so that they'd get like exclusive footage and could report back on it. So that was part of trying to keep it relevant, at least for the press.
The press, man.
E3 also has like a games industry. Like there are like pitches and stuff that happen behind closed doors. Like developers and publishers meet up at E3 to do businessy things. Apparently, I don't know. This is what people tell me happens at E3.
Just your sources.
Imagining people like sat at a table with like graphs on the walls, but like these are our projections.
I'm kind of imagining
not too far off, probably.
I'm just imagining a Godfather-esque conference with like the head of Sony and Microsoft all around a table, and everyone's like gunning for each other. Look how they massacred my boy.
But then again, a lot of the games industry businessy sort of stuff got moved over to GDC, which is a conference that happens a few months before E3. That also got cancelled this year, coincidentally. But yeah, that's where a lot of the businessy stuff gets done nowadays. So E3 is just losing its relevance in general, I guess.
In a way, it is sad though. I mean, I get it, and I would say it's probably his time, but it is sad. Just because I have a lot of good memories from just watching E3 over the years, especially when I was a wee whippersnapper.
I remember. That's why. No, go on.
I was going to say I remember staying up till 3 a.m. waiting for IGN's 15 minutes of Halo Reach gameplay to come on.
Back in the day, yeah. Oh, them's were the golden time, boys. Them's were the golden times.
That's why I said I hope that if E3 is no longer a thing because of this year, and they all realise there's no point to it anymore because we did it last year without E3. I hope, like I said, they'll keep some sort of like out of sense of tradition, just being like, right, we'll still hold it at a similar time of year, so I can still have that week or maybe a month to look forward to, because it has been It's been almost a family tradition now for like the last 10 years.
That is crazy. It's like I can imagine what like your mum and dad is just like, oh, it's Dion's time to go up into his room and not leave. Give him his food and leave him alone.
I'm not sure my parents would notice a difference. Oh, it's another night where Chris is staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning again. There we go.
How unusual.
I'm 100% sure my parents have no idea what a gaming conference is. Oh.
100%. Yeah, I'd agree with you. Yeah. So I think that's about it. I don't know if should we do a little roll call and see what we think. I mean, I personally don't think they're relevant, or at least E3 is not relevant. Conferences always are. It's a good way to bring the community together. But E3 maybe.
It's kind of where I thought E3 itself isn't needed, but I do enjoy I enjoy the pantomime of E3, but like, if the companies just want to get their information to people, do it online. You're less likely to make mistakes that people can laugh at as well. But then again, for me, if you don't make the mistakes, you make it less entertaining. So
far less entertaining.
Like, it's the lose for me, because I'll find the whole process far less entertaining. It'll be more rehearsed. It'll all go right. Nothing will break. Nobody will do a weird thing.
How dull.
No one will be like, no, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. I'm in a weird place though, because if those sort of things happen at like the award shows or whatever, like the VGAs, I find it less enjoyable and just more like, and I don't know why. I think because it's that's more the community and stuff, and then it's just way too cringy. It's like, oh, we're made to look like knobs again. Look at those video game nerds.
It's good to laugh at EA, but not people who won.
Not the boys.
Not the boys.
Yeah, not the boys.
You want to laugh at the company, not at the people themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the actual developers, no.
I still find it easy to do so.
Me too. I remember making fun of that Yanni guy. He just loved Yanni so much, his hands were shaking. I was like, "Ha, you bitch, you're nervous."
You're passionate, you turd. I even made a video back in the day on Blunt Lemons. That was just ripping on one of the VGA shows.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, so definitely do it, but it's more cringy and less amusing. There's
a guy dressed up as a razor.
Yes, there was.
Chick Hydra Razor. Hey, their advertising worked because I still remember the name of that product. Apparently,
That's very true. That's the only thing I remember.
I don't remember the winner. I don't remember the winner of a single award, but I remember the Schick Hydra bod and the Schick Hydra razor and the silky smooth shave it would give you afterwards.
Right. I didn't watch this, and I have. This sounds like insanity.
You should go on our private videos and watch it. It's intriguing.
I think I will.
The thing with the video game awards and stuff like that, people who are mostly involved in that sort of way in the actual making of the games tend to not be the most social and tend to be quite awkward. So it's always really awkward when
when a dude comes out and says "fuck the Oscars" and like the presenter's like, "What did he say?"
Yeah.
Like, don't let him say that again. And you can see Jeff Keighley, the presenter, being like, "Okay, wrap it up, get him off stage."
Yeah,
stop him talking.
It's the beginning bit that gets me when they have like the smaller awards at the beginning and they bring them up onto the little platform, but they don't really know if they're supposed to like shake the hand or like hold the award or and then it's like, you've done talking now, and he's like, you can go.
Oh no!
Oh, that's the thing. It's the difference between, because funny enough, you brought it up, and I was going to make this comparison. It's the difference between the video game awards and the Oscars, because like the Oscars, when they go up there to get their awards, it's like, these are talented actors. They used to be up in front of cameras, people, everything. It's fine for them.
And most of them are really hot as well.
Yeah. And then you get like people like us going on stage, and it's just this is not going to go well.
No, it's not. And you could tell as soon as they kind of step in front of the camera, and it tends to be as well the more indie studios that don't really have marketing people and whatnot, and they're kind of like, they don't know how to really go about it. And it's just, it always results in some form of awkwardness, and I'm like...
we find it awkward. A lot of people find it very charming when that happens. I don't. I'm like, please get off stage. But a lot of people find it charming.
No. I'm just like, oh, come on, dude. You can do it. No.
We believe in you, kind of.
It's just when they're kind of like, the presenter's looking a bit awkward because they're like, okay, you're gonna go? And they're stood there like, thank you.
I remember once, like, that Dragon Cancer had won something. They were talking about how their child had died from cancer, and this was like a really personal question. And you could see like the presenter was like, I need to get these guys to leave, but also I don't want to interrupt the story about child cancer because it's very uplifting.
You can't just be like, it's moving. There is a weird polarizing difference between the two. Yeah, there we are. I like it. I like them both, though, in the end. In both conferences and award shows.
I find them all very entertaining.
Oh, yeah. It's something to talk about and take the piss out as well.
Yes, so, just not incredibly relevant, is what we're saying.
No, definitely not. That's old, isn't it? But...
Conferences in general, still nice to have around. E3 itself, definitely not really relevant anymore. Probably dead after this year, if not next.
It's definitely going to try changing, isn't it? It'll come back, but it'll have changed something. I don't think it'll let it go.
Dead in the traditional sense.
Don't know what the future holds. We could all be robots. Or something. Or
Maybe
dead.
we are.
Maybe we
could
are.
be dead.
Maybe none of this is real.
It's
all just a mass hallucination because of coronavirus.
Yep.
We're all on incubators right now. Anyway, are we done with this topic, or have we got parting words?
I don't think there's any more.
Nothing further to add.
Okay then. So the second, I presume we're gonna discuss Ye Old Second Boy.
Sure.
Okay. So the second topic. Get ready. I suppose it's more about hype culture, as opposed to just Cyberpunk. But Cyberpunk's the big thing that's going to be coming up. That is hyped beyond logical levels. So I guess it's more about hype culture and how potentially, even when you got a great game, because I've got no doubt Cyberpunk will be a good game, and I said that about Rome 2 as well. I said I've got no doubt Rome 2 will be a great game, but I might be disappointed.
Why did you bring up the devil?
we can go into our old Steam group and read you your quotes about what you said about Rome 2.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we need to do that, Christopher.
I think we do. Where is it? Let's have a look.
Oh, God.
Right. Sorry, what's been said? Simply because my Discord died again, just as you started the topic.
What were we saying?
Ben's doing well.
Okay.
We're pretty much saying we're going to talk more about general hype culture and how it can affect
apply
games.
it to Cyberpunk.
Yeah, well, Cyberpunk's the relevant sort of, topic to attach it to. But, hype culture in general, and then we kind of mentioned, because I said, I have no doubt Cyberpunk's going to be a good game, but I also said that about Rome 2. I said it's going to be a good game, I've got no doubt, but I might be disappointed. Turned out Rome 2 was a shit game, and I was disappointed.
On the 2nd of September 2013, Joe said, "Holy nips, how far will you go for Rome? Well, this is my official retirement from life. Rome 2 is finally here, and I have decided to tell the band of merry men, and this will be the last time you see or hear from me for quite possibly a year or two, maybe 3.
I think I commented after that, did I not?
Were you what, sorry?
I think I commented after that.
Yes, you did. You said, I like the sound of that, it will be glorious.
Yep.
Joe says, can't wait to conquer the known world with my clan. Hopefully there'll be decent multiplayer as well.
That was the last
We
time
were
I
so
felt
hopeful.
excitement. Oh god, I'm going through like the screenshots I have on Steam of Rome 2 that I took over the probably week I played it.
I think this is a separate thing all on its own. All on its own about our own experiences with Rome 2, because
It's definitely a small topic, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yes.
going back to it, hype culture. I have no doubt, and I am going to say this with more confidence. Cyberpunk will be a good, nay, great game.
It's got the pedigree.
It has, it's got everything behind it. But will it be disappointing?
The company is young enough as well to where I think I don't think that they're going to do a major fuck up like we had with Total War, because CD Projekt Red, their only game franchise has been The Witcher, so they have 3 games under their belt. It's like,
I think
come
there's
on.
some small ones, didn't they? It's been the main job.
No,
Didn't they?
before they made The Witcher games, they functioned as a video game distributor in Poland and translator, but they didn't actually make games until The Witcher,
Wow.
as I recall.
Fair play.
So they have 3 games under their belt, plus all the DLCs they made for them, and, well, I can't speak for Witcher 1, but certainly Witchers 2 and 3 obviously are quite beloved.
Yeah, and The Witcher 3 specifically took off like nobody's business. Like, The Witcher 1 and 2 had success, but nothing on the level of, like, The Witcher 3.
The Witcher 3
Not
is
against
literally a national pride for Poland. When Barack Obama went to visit Poland, the Polish leader, I don't know if it's Prime Minister or
Geralt
whatever.
greeted him.
No, he gave Obama a copy of The Witcher 3.
Really? Obama's
That's
like,
not even
"Oh,
a joke. Go look that up.
Obama's like, I don't have an Xbox, and they're like, just take it.
We're on PC. Just a symbol of our pride. I mean, fair enough. It's probably the greatest. No, I'm not going to say it.
See, when it comes to Cyberpunk, right, I don't think it's going to be disappointed, because I don't know if it's as wildly hyped as some projects out there can get. It's not really. It's not really had like the years. Well, I guess it has had years long.
I think
hype cycle.
people
But
are expecting incredible things from Cyberpunk.
maybe
They're
it's the
expecting next Witcher.
Maybe it's because I just don't interact with the Cyberpunk community much. I didn't know it was that, like, people were, like, wildly speculating about it.
I don't think there's many. I don't think I've ever seen a top, like, most anticipated list where Cyberpunk hasn't been number one.
Yeah,
Coming
I mean,
to
it is.
the
It's the game of like the anticipated game of this year. Definitely, I can't think of another one. Off the top.
I mean, sure, I guess. I mean, there's, like, The Last of Us 2 and other games like that, I guess. But, I don't deny it's the most hyped game of this year, maybe, but
no,
I'm not sure it's so wildly overhyped.
None of them brought out Keanu Reeves, did they?
Yeah,
So,
none of them are breathtaking. So-
You're breathtaking.
Well, stop it, you.
Yeah.
For me,
Keep it
it's
private,
not going to be overhyped or disappointing, because to be honest, I don't actually have any real expectations. I don't think.
Well, you see, excitement within me was killed many years ago.
Yes, same as we've just clearly proven.
Dear.
In the great tragedy of 2013.
While I look forward to games and I enjoy games and I can get like a little bit excited, I'm never going to be like so head over heels in love with like the hype train as I used to be. So I don't know if anything can disappoint me. Even when things are delayed, I'm like whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm like, okay. Like,
I was actually happy
I'm usually
when
happy when
Cyber-
things are delayed.
Yeah, I was happy when Cyber was delayed. Mainly because I was like, if it comes out then, I'm just not going to get it straight away and be able to play it. I mean, for the love of God, I still need to finish The Witcher, which I would definitely do.
By September.
Yes. Is that feasible? I think it's feasible.
It depends how much you play.
It's true.
Well, considering that we're all off work now, or at least working from home due to coronavirus, apart from Ben, sorry, I think you got plenty of time.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
But
even
back
so,
to sorry.
Go on, Benjamin, please.
Okay. Well, I was gonna go back to Cyberpunk and the game itself, and it looks really cool, how the game, the world looks and everything. But The Witcher, they already had a world to go off and books to go off, so there'll be
this time. The Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I was going to say there's plenty of Cyberpunk novels, isn't there?
Is there?
Yeah, it's all fully established law and everything. Yeah,
Are you serious? I thought it was
no,
its own.
It's a thing.
I thought it was just a genre, not so much a.
I mean, it's a genre. It's a genre based off a very specific series.
Mm. Yeah, it's definitely based off stuff. I only found that out, to be fair, because when I was reading through comments in the video, they were talking about, oh, this group of people are in it, and didn't this happen? And then some guy was like, oh no, it was explained in the book. That
really?
This whole period took place. Yeah, so it's actually fully established.
It's
definitely going to be a far different game from The Witcher.
Yes.
Just mechanically. Obviously, thematically and all that, but it looks to be different anyway. A whole different sort of RPG.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about specifically how much I'll enjoy Cyberpunk, I'm going to probably enjoy it a lot less than The Witcher 3, because it's not really my type of RPG.
Yeah.
A first-person, create-your-own-character, open-ended, sort of, do anything you want in a world, it's not really my sort of RPG. But I'll enjoy it fine.
It's Todd Howard's. Oh, what was it?
Hot Towards. Hot Towered.
I am a bit worried about, because you can create your own character and everything, and that always that tends to fall into the character's really forgettable kind of realm. But
I disagree.
Depends how they do dialogue, really, and yeah, I would completely disagree, because you could still have a character written well and still have them fully customized.
Hence Shepard.
Especially if they go with the dialogue-less route, which gives you so many more options to make it your own character.
I mean, Shepard is like that, right?
Yeah, but whenever I made my own Shepard, I didn't like him as much as the actual Shepard.
No, me neither.
Shepard has a defined character, which, in a game like Skyrim, or I don't know about Cyberpunk, I've not played it, but let's say Cyberpunk's like that. They don't really have so much a defined character, and I find it less fun and more woolly as an experience to be having to define my own character like that, because I end up just going with whatever's easiest most of the time. My Skyrim characters were oh, I'm a dark elf who really just does whatever the Daedra tell me every time, without fail. Whatever they tell me to do, I do, because I want their shit.
I think it's massive differences in what you like, really, isn't it? I personally massively prefer create your own character, do what you want, but I think that the two different types of games generally are so different. I think and Fallout 4 shows that as well. There's a formula to creating an open world game in which you can be whoever you want and do whatever you want, and there's certain rules I think you can't really break. And I think you're right in the sense you can't have an involved character like a Shepard-esque character and also be who you want and do what you want, because there's just not enough options there for you to. The whole point is that you imagine, your character as whoever you want them to be, and you can't really do that with voice dialogue.
That's
too limiting.
That's where personal preference really plays a part for me. The reason I like The Witcher 3 so much is a large part because of Geralt of Rivia. I got to play Geralt of Rivia. That's the way I like to engage with my RPGs. And when you're you can be anything, I'm just tell me what to be, goddammit, and I'll be it.
This is a funny thing.
Go on.
Okay, no, sorry. I'll try and be quick. No, I was going to say, the funny thing is, because this also comes down back to the base source material, because you like playing Geralt of Rivia, which I imagine is definitely enhanced by you reading the books as well, whereas Cyberpunk fans, you don't really have that, because Cyberpunk is a tabletop RPG in the same sense that D&D is, so it really makes sense for them to make a game where it's be who you want, do what you want in this world, because that's what RPGs are.
I mean, it's not
in the traditional tabletop sense.
It's not just the character though; it's the rest of the world. I don't know. It could be very generic.
Do we know that they're making a game where you're supposed to be who you want, and is that sort of the thing?
I was watching the trailer earlier. It was be who you want and choose to be this guy. Fluid class system and all that. Play your own way kind of thing.
Yeah, like every quest does like not a million, and that's an exaggeration. Like lots and lots of different ways of like how it can like be slightly different based on your choices and stuff like that. And that actually brings me to something like else. Like the reason I'm not so hyped on like Cyberpunk specifically on its world and whatnot is that a lot of the only trailers I've watched have been a lot about the technology and like the systems behind the game, not so much about the world, if that makes sense. So every trailer I watch is like, oh, every quest has all these little changes, and the guns can shoot like this, and they can shoot through walls. I'm like, I don't really care about Cyberpunk yet, you know?
Yeah, I'm actually 100% the same, to be honest. So, do we know if it's kind of do what you want in a sense of Deus Ex, where you can, is it kind of like that, where you're kind of like, who's the main guy in Deus Ex? I was going to say Adam Driver there.
I was going to say Jensen.
Jensen.
What's his name?
Adam Jensen or something like that.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So isn't it something like that? I don't know. I've only ever played the first 40 minutes of the third Deus Ex game. So.
See, that's what I never really got into. I tried to play those too, and I never got into them. And this looks a little bit like that. So
that's kind of what I mean. Is it supposed to be like that, or?
I mean, they're touting it as a lot more open-ended. Like, there's like you can change a million little things in the world, and that will really affect your like playthrough, sort of thing. So like you go into this quest, you can kill the person, you can not kill them, you can not do the quest, you can go in and like break their left kneecap, and that'll somehow have an effect. You know, like that's like all it's branching in that sort of way. Whereas like Deus Ex is like binary. Like you get to a point in the quest, like, do you want to save him or do you not want to save him? Sort of like
Mass Effect style.
Yeah, Mass Effect.
It will be interesting whether it will be actual choice or if it's like the illusion of choice.
That's the thing I'm waiting to see about as well, because as much as I love RPGs, when they emphasize like you can do what you want and you can make all these different choices and stuff, like, do they actually matter? You son of a bitch.
I'm always wary about that.
Is it open ended, or is it actually just three things? You can kill everyone, stealth your way through, or do a bit of both. Maybe.
Well, there's a lot of things as well that, like Dylan was saying, the illusion of choice, or the illusion of anything really. There's plenty of games that have tried to be, this huge open-ended. This affects this, but really, even in dialogue, you could choose out of 3 different options, and they would all kind of the character would say the NPC would say something still ambiguous that would kind of respond to all 3. So it doesn't. They kind of just ignore. You could be like, "Shut it, cunt," and they'd be like, "Okay, so let me tell you about," and it's like, okay, it didn't really have any sort of impact at all.
I really want to play a game now where a character's like, "Shut it, cunt."
I want to respond to every dialogue choice.
Oh god.
Hello, you're my savior. Shut it, cunt. Hello, do you want to buy my wares? Shut it, cunt.
I think I love you. Shut it, cunt.
Oh dear. But I have no doubt Cyberpunk's going to be a great game. But
yeah, like the gameplay.
Now we're talking about it, I don't know much about it at all. Like what kind of game it is. I know it's an RPG.
I was going to say, hopefully since it's coming out this year, what would have been E3 conference for it, hopefully will show us a lot more gameplay at least, so we can get a better grasp of the game overall.
Yes.
It's not necessarily gameplay that I'm as interested in though. I'm more interested, because we've seen a reasonable amount of it, I suppose. I'm more just interested in actually, gameplay more in the sense of how you interact with characters and how your character is based.
How
in
much
the world.
RPG is this RPG, rather than just a shooter?
I've no doubt you can create. Yeah, I've got no doubt you can create the absolute living bells and whistles like your character, but it's more about how your character is in the game. How do they occupy space, and what how far can you go in terms of making your character, or is he just your version of character X? That's what I'm interested in seeing.
Yeah, I feel like there is a slight set character, because like when they showed the conference last year with Keanu Reeves in it, and he like gets you up from a cutscene, and he refers to you as Samurai, and it's like, so you kind of have a set name or title.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm under the impression it's more Witcher-esque as opposed to open world, do anything, be anyone. It seems like you are someone, but you can decide whether you're stealthy or whatever.
I have a
which is a
pink
completely
mohawk.
different thing. Yeah,
A pink mohawk.
exactly.
I'm a woman, but with a penis. Or whatever they did.
Now that's the dream.
We all know who
They
Chris
got
is
a lot
going
of
to play. It's going to be
controversy, actually,
Latoya.
didn't they?
They did. There was like a poster, and it was a woman, but they had a dick, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" and whatever.
This is transphobic, which blew my mind. That
How?
they got stick for that.
That seems
people saying
pro-trans,
that
right?
It's transphobic. Why? Because there's a trans person there? If there's a trans person wasn't there, I feel like you'd be complaining for them not being in it.
It was a picture of that, and it was like it was an advert in the game. It's like a company's advert in the game, and it was something to do with. It was a pun on the fact this lady quite obviously had a penis, and it was a pun on it to sell a product in the game.
Yeah.
And,
Okay,
they kind of
little...
said, but what their response to that was it was something along the lines of, "That's the kind of theme of the game. It's to show that corporations and they've gone like." I was gonna
say, I'm pretty sure
and
even
there's
like
no
the
limits.
original writer was like, "Yeah, no, we're keeping that." Is
Yeah,
that how
I
the
think
game's supposed
it's key
to be?
to the. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be key to the sort of themes of like the corporations. There's no real moral restrictions or anything. You know, they anything for money sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So which I don't mind.
It kind of falls into the problem. I don't know the world of Cyberpunk, and they're not really sold me on it. So like, you show me that, I'd be like, oh, it's a bit weird and a bit insensitive, I guess. I mean, maybe it's very thematic with Cyberpunk, but I don't know it, or I'm not sold on it yet, so I have no idea.
Yeah, it's not typically my kind of world. Like, I prefer the more fantasy stuff, but we'll see.
Me too. I'm big up on the world though. I think it could be really good. I don't know. There's probably information out there, to be fair. I just don't know much about who you are and what anything about Cyberpunk as a franchise, really.
I mean, when it comes to it being overhyped, though, it's not like I won't say I've forgotten the name, and Half-Life 3 or something like that. It's not. I'm not sure. Like, if Half-Life 3 came out, it can only disappoint. I'm not sure. I'm fairly sure Cyberpunk will live up to its hype. I'm sure it'll be a great game.
No, I think so. I think for me, I'm a bit outside the hype machine anyway, generally. So I don't know to what levels it is. And I think, to be honest, everyone's going to be like, yeah, this is a pretty bloody good game. CD Projekt Red have got the reputation for it, and they've got the goodwill. So it should be good.
It should be, but
maybe they're hiding deep in terrible secrets.
Have to see, won't we?
That would be a very severe fall from grace for CD Projekt Red if this game turns out shit.
I'm trying to think of the last. I can't try to think of a game apart from Rome 2, where there was a company that had a really good track record and then they made something terrible.
Bethesda.
I mean, did Bethesda have a really good track record?
I guess.
They had a lot of goodwill.
They had goodwill, but like their games were always janky and kind of like.
I don't think that mattered at all, though. Plus, the games were on par. Like, they were all really good. The main ones that people cared about, and they were kind of the golden boys until Fallout. Well, until the periods somewhat after Skyrim, it kind of slowly went down and then just dropped.
What
massively?
What about like in the Destiny in the beginning? I feel like that got a bit of too much hype.
Too much hype.
You see, the problem is I never really paid much attention to Destiny.
No.
Right.
So I had no idea about that. I played Destiny and then I didn't. But
yeah, I never put any stock in Destiny, so. But yeah,
which is weird because I was such a Bungie fan before, and by Bungie I mean Halo fan, so I should really been paying more attention.
Me too. I think when I heard it was a massive multiplayer game, and I was just like, okay. And then Bungie kind of fell apart. So.
Apparently Destiny 2 is pretty good now.
I mean, they're both good games. So it's just they don't hold my attention.
Yeah.
It's good but not great.
There's somewhat sad stories in there already, I think, behind with Bungie as well. There's some good people, but yeah.
Well, Bungie was kind of broken by its departure from Microsoft because like half the staff stayed with 343, the other half left. Neither side were Bungie anymore. You know.
That's true, but I think some of the key players, like the writer, the original writer for Halo, left when I think he proposed his story for Destiny, and then at Division, I think it was like a year before release, they kind of said nope, and they had to rewrite the story. I used story in air quotes because there wasn't really a story, and that's probably why. But like a year out, they didn't have anything because they canned what he was writing for whatever reason, and so he quit. And then Marty got fired. I can't remember why. So, yeah, it all went a bit tits up, but there you go. Such is life.
Does anyone have anything else to say on Cyberpunk?
I feel like we're almost the wrong group to ask about hype because most of us are dead on the inside. You, Ben, might be the only one with life still left in him, and we'll soon suck that out of you.
I've got.
Oh God.
I've got. Yeah, I get too excited about things which I probably shouldn't get excited about.
We're not dead on the inside. We just got a major burn and then went, yeah, not again.
Like
it pretty much killed me on the inside. I'm not gonna lie.
There's an Avengers. I don't know if you probably know there's like an Avengers game coming out soon-ish.
You're hyped for the Avengers game.
I'm not. I'm not. Like, I really
no judgment being cast, but certainly judgment being cast.
To say yes.
No, I want it to be like the best thing ever, but I don't know.
It's just the reason I'm mildly surprised is I look at the game and I'm like, it looks janky, but I'm sure it'll be fun.
It does look janky, but I so desperately want it to be good, and I'll be very disappointed if it's probably it doesn't look great. I'll be honest. But...
Just tell me you're gonna wait until reviews.
Oh, I do that for every single game now.
Good.
I did after Rome. That's what I do now. Actually no, I did. The last game.
It's not dead on the inside, but it is on the cautious level like us.
I am cautious. The last game I pre-ordered was Arkham Knight. So, yeah,
that worked out poorly for me.
Yeah. I remember
do you have the PC port?
I remember when I first booted it up and it wouldn't go above 30 frames. So I was like, "What's going on?"
I mean, it would go above 30 frames. I was like, "Okay, that's fine." There's something weird in the INI files, so I went into the files and I turned it off, and it was like, "Okay, this game can't maintain 45 on my PC. Fuck this game."
But I still really love Arkham Knight. So I wasn't wrong there, but I'm not gonna pre-order again because
What's it?
Bad
What's
idea.
it like, Ben, to be excited? What's it feel like?
I don't know. It's just hope in my heart. And
Bless.
sometimes it gets crushed. I mean, sometimes I get I don't know. What was the last game I really loved?
It's better to have loved and lost than to never love at all.
Sometimes I get a film like The Dark Knight. Other times I get Justice League. It's just the way it is.
Sometimes
you just gotta go through life with low expectations, and that way you're pleasantly surprised a lot more often.
That's.
I don't think I'm ever pleasantly surprised. Everything just like comes to me. I'm like, okay, cool. If it's good, I'll enjoy it. If it's bad, I'll not enjoy it. But I'm not like super hyped beforehand in any particular way. With some exceptions, I was quite hyped for Avengers Endgame. I was on the hype train for that one. But I guess that's movies.
It was hard not to be.
What was just out of curiosity? What was the last game you guys truly loved?
God of War.
I mean, that's
like the latest one.
That's a different question from even hyped. I love games all the time. I'm playing Persona 5 Royal right now. I'm loving it.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
So
I haven't got it yet.
But like,
what?
Persona 5 Royal.
The expansion.
Okay, so
It's an expanded version of the game with like quite a lot of new shit in. Actually,
I want it.
I was going to say I was about to call you out, Dion, on your list for being a fraud, but that's reasonable.
But no, I love games all the time. Like, what year was it last year? I loved Jedi Fallen Order. That was a great game last year. Can't remember what else I played last year, but 2018, there were plenty of bangers in that year. From God of War to I've forgotten all the games I played. I had them in my head a second ago.
Spider-Man,
that was one. I love that game. That came out in 2018.
Spider-Man's cracking.
I remember because 2018 had so much shit I loved in it. Fuck it, I can't remember. It was great. Good year.
I think there's still good reason to be excited for things. It's just sometimes things aren't good. And that's it.
I get excited for them. I'm just extremely cautious and pretty much never pre-order.
No, it's just like I see something, I get excited for it. I'm like, okay, this could be amazing, and then I just wait and see what everyone says about it. So, and then if it's like this is rubbish, I'm like, yeah. But sometimes if it's something I really want, my judgment fails, and I do end up getting it and being disappointed. Like,
happens to the best of us.
No Man's Sky. Oh god.
Oh, you poor fool!
Yeah.
Did you actually get that?
Right now.
Now, yeah. After years of waiting and a huge major overhaul, which basically changed the whole game.
Oh yeah, I'm not defending it.
I don't know. It's just.
Did you actually get that at release? Holy shit!
Enough launch.
It's
the first game it's the first game I ever returned on Steam.
Yeah.
Really?
So there's that.
Maybe you're just saying you were just flying around and going, there's nothing really to do.
No, honestly, I was like...
There was literally nothing.
Like, I got on the ship, I was like, oh my god, I can go to this planet. This is incredible, this is the best thing ever. And then I was like, wait, what am I doing? Wait, that guy looks... Is that guy the same as that last guy that I spoke to? Why? These are all the same ships in this hangar. Wait, I can't do anything. I'm bored now.
It was discovery for discovery. You go to a new planet. Oh look, there's a new flower. You catalogued it. Great. That was a new flower. Doesn't give you anything. Doesn't achieve anything. There's a flower.
And
then you get in your ship and you fly to the next planet. You go there. Oh look, there's a 3-legged dinosaur. Cool.
Yeah.
And then you fly to the next one.
Weird, like janky monsters that look janky and move jankily. Just janky.
Just janky in general. Fair play. Right, I think that's about. Is that about it? For our
that's a good
discussion
length
on Hypey Poos.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to say.
Neither do I. I'm excited for Cyberpunk. I just have to see what happens, won't we?
Yeah, I'm excited for it as well. I just don't know anything much
I'll
about
look forward to it. Excitement is a different word to what I feel. It could be delayed until 2022, and I'll be like, okay, I will look forward to playing it then.
Do you feel anything?
No, actually, it's sad. Oh. No, well, there you go. I feel only sadness.
Oh god.
Just deep down despair.
Well, what a good
and on
way
that
to end
note,
the
ladies and gentlemen, that was the Lemonade Podcast.
Episode 5.
Episode 5. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me I'm a bitch.
Below.
Don't tell me I'm a bitch. It'll hurt
etc.
It'll make it spiral him into more depression.
Nothing can hurt me more anymore. I'm already at rock bottom. Anyway.
Rome 2 did it long ago, Ben. Nothing's beat it since.
I think we need to stop here and have a talk with Chris. So
I've not left this house properly in 3 years. I'm already at rock bottom. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, dislike. Tell us what you were disappointed by. Tell us why you were dead on the inside, or do you still hope
why you're
like
hyped
Ben?
for shit.
Yes, and if game conferences are game conferences, or if they're not game conferences.
And when were you burned by something in the past?
And
if you look forward to the EA Sports Conference, please just show yourself out.
Yeah. The door is there. Good night, good evening, and good morning.
Adios, amigos.
Goodbye.
Adios.